So it's called social distancing. Okay? Not people are corralled into stores, one out of a family, okay, for grossly insane people to try to fuck them. Okay? I don't care. I don't care what the fuck you think you're there for. Do not fucking talk to me in a store. Okay? That's why there's a self checkout at CVS. And if someone needs fucking help from you, they will go up to your little fucking podium and talk to you. Okay? Fantastic. I don't know how you think people are going to fucking talk to you after 13 years of utter fucking madness in a Holocaust. Okay? Everyone on the fucking planet knows who I am. My coat, my hat, how fucking tall I am, what my asshole looks like. Okay? Really, cut it a fucking break. This bullshit about attacking people because you're trying to dissuade people from getting fucking food and water and goods. You're grossly insane people. Okay? Uh, Mercury injections aren't fucking contagious. Okay? And I have a face mask on, and I wasn't stealing anything, and I wasn't even didn't even appear like I was looking for something. I was waiting to use the fucking coupon thing that apparently first they disabled, thinking someone would come and ask them about it. So now they just walk up to you. And because I go, do you have a reason to be talking to me right now? Because it's social distancing. I'm just waiting to use the coupon printer. Is that okay? And then, of course, in typical male sexual fucking offender mode, just like Billy on Mound Beach, out comes their true self. Well, I was going to tell you where the other coupon thing was, but you're all set. Yeah, I am all set, you fucking maggot. Next. The fuck you think is going on here? You're criminally fucking insane people. You were told to stay home because you're clearly brain impaired and you're acting like literal fucking eeps. I don't know if you think what you're doing is normal, but you're grossly insane. Anyways, I had to go get peanuts because I'm fucking starving since we're on 3 months now of truly everybody on a fucking land piece not being able to deny how morbidly insane people are. We hope. Okay. Oh no, it's morbid insanity. It's absolute ape behaviors. And a lot of it is like demented Neanderthal, just like in Germany and just like in Cambodia. That's why you end up with populations of people starved. Okay. That's why it's called gross insanity. Well, it runs the gamut of they're actually trying to just block you from getting food and water to trying to force interactions. And you're going to be denied things because you won't talk to them. Okay? They're morbidly insane. They're criminally insane. Well, luckily at Family Dollar, they're $2.79. So that's a little bit more than if I had gone to like Stop and Shop to be fucking actually physically touched and molested by some woman. Or Ocean State job lots where, again, it's a cashier. Right. That CVS didn't even have a self-checkout, and it does now for a reason. It's social distancing, not people have to talk to people that are refusing to stop working. That's why it's social distancing, because you're not going to cause us to get in a war with you because you're fucking insane assholes. Can you just hand me the bottle of water and now you think you're going to fucking talk to me in a store? You're never getting fucking laid again. Each and every one of you. If I had one of those phones, would have taken it right out of my fucking pocket. Okay, why are you talking to me? Okay, who am I? Do you know me? You don't know who I am? I'm just some person in the fucking gray coat and that black hat. I wasn't just fucking live streaming yesterday. Disgusting fucking maggots. Anyways, after an entire day of not having my Super Bowl, I'm fucking starving, and I got to do 15 miles tomorrow. So, boo-hoo, you're not going to be able to fucking stop me to stop walking and then tell yourselves there's nothing wrong with you because no one fucking walks. No one can keep up with that. You're in a fucking extinction because you can't survive there without fuel. So we're not in happy hour unity. We're not gonna have a war and then you people climb on top of each other and have a reunification, whatever the fuck you're calling it. And if apes spoke English, it's always a dude. It is always a dude. Just so people know that. It is always a dude. Always. The men here are terrible. It's atrocious. Atrocious. I don't know who the fuck raised these people, but it's terrible. Not one of them seems to have a male fucking friend. Yeah. Say hello to my little friend. I was just telling Barbara about it, about what happened at Stop and Shop, because I hadn't told her. I was basically stunned, and I didn't want to get into another thing and have the cops come for the third time for beating the fuck out of somebody. Right, but it's like any other person maybe who hasn't done that yet would just go, or was already annoyed with the fucking chick. Right. Because she came up behind me. That's the best way for someone to fucking beat the fuck out of you, is to come up behind them. Watch, now you'll have 15 people attacking people from behind because I think that they're insane like that. I explained what I think her problem is too, from what God was telling me. She's one of those offenders that she's going to be the person that you won't tell her to not fucking touch you. She's going to be that person. Some of them are insane like that. That would be why God told me not to react to her calling me hun and not to react to her touching me. And you just stay away from her because she's sick. Right. Some of them are like that. They're going to be the one, and then they're dominant or something. Yeah, she didn't fucking tell me not to touch her. Okay. The poor guy that was standing in front of me, because I can stand there for 5 minutes waiting for the line to move. I don't have mania like the rest of these fucking people. Like, what is my rush today that I can't stand there waiting for just the line to move forward? I don't need to bother him by going, excuse me, can you move out of the way? I can just stand there for 5 fucking minutes. And per my life, not everything happens for a reason. I don't like to say that, but per my job, I don't know how many people in that store just heard me say that to that fucking guy. Right, because it's like, look, it's social distancing. We're a year into this. This isn't we come in here, you order us the fuck around. Because I felt like this from day one. You order us the fuck around, and then you come up and talk to us and get as close to us as you want to. The fuck 6 feet and don't talk to me. You have a reason to talk to me? No. That's why this is self-checking. Checkout. The fuck away from me. Stop trying to deter me from getting fucking food and water and goods. Your money charges and your fucking face mask shit didn't work. Now you're going to start fucking attacking people in stores? Completely fucking insane. No, because we're not getting in a war. That's what I'm telling you. Part of it is they want that. They're sick. If you saw that woman on Lawrence Street, I wasn't even raising my voice to her, and she would not stop screaming in my face. She was completely insane. It was like dealing with her, but it's just some fucking stranger. Just comes and knocks, comes and knocks on your door and starts doing that. You just go, yeah, I'll be leaving here tomorrow. Because that's what I said. I just go, are you going to be doing this? Because if you are, I'm not staying here. That's all. Okay, thank you. Goodbye. And I did. I fucking left the next day. I'm not a gorilla. I'm not a monkey. I'm not an ape. Right. People are out of your fucking minds. I remembered on my way out, I was like, oh, that's right, I'm doing laundry. So I had to go rotate the laundry. I don't know, maybe like 2 o'clock I'll go down there. I'm pretty fucking hungry too. It's like, this is not the time to be fucking harassing me. Okay? Step the fuck back now. That's why they do this shit with the food too, obviously. They saw King fucking, what was that show called? The Sand King. So now they're masterminds because they're profoundly mentally retarded and they're going to cause a war by starving people. Right. They'll have to tell themselves that someone beating the fuck out of an employee at CVS or Stop and Shop is a war that they caused. I already had some fucking dude this morning. He was standing on, what is that, Whiting Ave, right in front of the fucking playground, blocking the sidewalk, right where I walk to get to the fucking food pantry. My hand to God. I had to go out into the street and I have headphones on and I'm out in the road to walk past him and I can hear him go, hey, how you doing? The fuck? You just go, why can't just somebody I know just be in their car and see this guy doing this and then just go and beat the fuck out of him after I leave? Why can that never just happen? I did. I made up a whole fucking script where the cops show up and go, how you doing today? What are you doing today? Right. And then go, did you talk to anyone today? And watch him go, no. And then go get in the fucking car right now. Nope. Get in the fucking car. The fuck you didn't talk to someone today. Fucking maggot. Told to stay home over a fucking year. I told you. A couple times of that, they'll stay the fuck home. Even the ones that are profoundly mentally retarded will. The poor guy, it's Family Dollar, because he seems like a nice guy. He's been working there forever, but when I walked in, he said hello. Usually, I'd say hi to people, but I was just like, I had just had this thing happen to me at fucking CBS, and I'm just like, I thought about it. I thought about going up to the thing, but then I was like, no, I'm not going to do it because they have the this is how they do it too. They have the peanuts I need, so now I can't go in a nice way. Look, it's social distancing. Right. It just someone might come in here and just flip out on you because just talking to them when they walk in. As weird as that seems, like typically that's would be just regular social stuff, but the way that things have been since 2008, right? It's just don't take it personally. It's just because he sounds reduced too. He's been working there for a long time, that guy. He reminds me of George Burns. It's just like just because he seems nice. Anyways, right? It's just like, but that guy, that's just how that Billy guy was. And it was so funny because as soon as he said it, I go, and there it is, ba boom. Just what we were talking about. He thinks everybody else is evil. He's like, sort of like Karen. Everybody else is a bad person. And there you go, boom. Complete fucking actor. And then everywhere that Karen and Michael and I went, you'd see that guy walk and he'd be like, hey, Michael, love ya. Like he's a fucking wacko. I'm sure Karen's probably like, I hate this fucking man. Yeah, no shit. He is definitely a fucking wacko. I can see why she didn't like him, but maybe people didn't understand. Well, Michael's one of those people where I know Billy could push it to the limit because it's like he's just naturally nice to everybody and he doesn't want to get into it. But then it's like if you he's not fucking retarded. He notices things and he'll probably just be like, "Yeah, what the fuck was that?" Okay, so you moved her tent, right? And then what? She's supposed to suck your dick because in gratification, because you in gratitude, because you moved her tent, because someone said they were going to take all her stuff. I know it's like so you didn't just do it just to be nice. Because all I said to the guy, because he was going off on one of his things, I go, "Do you have some wisdom to bestow upon me?" And I'm 49 years old. I don't know how the fuck he thinks adult women talk when you're grandiose and you're talking like a dickhead and talking to everybody like they're your fucking children. And he just all of a sudden he just flicked the fucking switch. Oh, I should have just let them take your stuff. Yeah, you should have just let them take my stuff. I don't know who this them is, but yeah, you should have just let them take my stuff. And then some them ends up with their fucking legs broken. I don't know who this them is that told anybody that we couldn't be there, as other thems are blocking off the fucking road to traffic so they can't drive their cars down. Is that the same them that all of a sudden couldn't unlock the fucking toilet up at the thing that unlocked it before? Is that the same them? Is that the same them that all accused Lupus Mary of all this fucking horrible shit because he thought that she made a marital agreement with him? Because he probably wouldn't stop fucking harassing her. And then he went around telling everybody that they were going to move in together. And she told us she had to do something for the day. And he's completely trashing her the whole day. Like she took off, like she abandoned him or something. It's like, you just fucking met this chick. The hell is wrong with you? Excuse me. Fucking Christ. It's called sober. I'm sure that dude's not used to fucking sober anybody. Never mind adult women. She has an income too. I don't know what he thought that was. She needs to go in with you to get a place. The shelter gives out fucking hotel rooms. Oh yeah, you people's day is fucking over. You're never getting laid again. Better learn to jack off. Keep doing fucked up shit in full public view too. Okay, so why did you just approach her for talking? Right, because I'm telling you, these men will do it right in front of their fucking wives. It's called presenting. I've seen it. That has happened to me before 2011, by the way. Right. And then the women give me a look. It's like, I don't know what you think I just did, but just fucking walked out an aisle because I'm grocery shopping just like you are. Christ God. Do I look like I dress like a fucking floozy? I don't even exactly. The fuck. I do. I hope Sean says all sorts of fucked up shit. Right, like you can tell who the whores are because they wear makeup. Right. But yet your men won't stop harassing a 49-year-old fucking virgin mother who's about to be 50 with a face mask, sunglasses, a hat, a hood up like this, and a fucking coat. For real. That's like wearing a fucking burqa, and these people still won't leave me the fuck alone. Jesus Christ. You'd have to find out how many men he goes up to in a day and asks if they need help with anything. It's called presenting. God puts them in some kind of a delusion and they think what they're doing is normal. You should have saw the guy at the food pantry in like 2011 or 12. That was like surreal. The whole room had that pause thing go on, like when I was at the duck farm at Albert DeSalvio, and the whole you have a really nice neck. And I was just like, oh my God, it's the fucking Boston Strangler. We should go out. That's what I'm saying. It might have got worse for Sean briefly with the. And he's probably like, what in the world is wrong with people? Didn't she just tell you I'm John Wayne Gacy? Oh, God. I won't even be hungry by the time the laundry's done. Tomorrow's 15 miles. I have to have food. I don't even know. I don't even think it's the food pantry. I'm not even getting into it. I'm not even getting into it. Nope. I'm really not. I told you it's 100% ignore at this point. And right, if I told you that too, I'm not saying it like that, but I typed it that eventually these people will start doing stuff where something has to be done about them. Unfortunately for me, uh, that's why people have male escorts. Okay, so it should make sense in your mind now. Why the hell did someone remove you from Quincy where there's people that you know? Right. Because how are you going to try to interact with me and fuck me if I'm with the dudes I know that are over 6 foot tall and will beat the fuck out of you? That's why they did it. Okay. So it will get to the point where these people, something will have to be done about them. I don't know if you're going to cordon off an area and that's where those people live, and you're going to allow people like myself to get the fuck out of here. Okay. Because 10 years is a very long time for a group of people that are wickedly insane to think that they're your boyfriend. They can control you. They can shut off a card and force you to have to come and talk to them. Okay. That's a very long time to be doing that. And for that to be completely cut off, where you can't force me in an area and then you come out and pretend that you're some helpful person. I mean, these people are like Ted Bundy level of risk and sick. They're clearly offenders. Okay. Right. Oh, I'll just stand on the sidewalk, or I'll put an obstacle so she has to walk here. I'll shut off the snap card, then she has to call me, or she has to come into the office. That is like Ted Bundy plotting and planning to kidnap, rape, and murder people. Okay. That level of ill. That's why people are told to stay home. Okay. Uh, Kim Kardashian's focusing on herself. We might be at a point now with some of these stories where I know it's difficult to hear how sick people are, where um, they are actually affecting or controlling our thoughts, where they're going to force us, they're going to decide what topics, and they're going to force us to talk about it. And then you can watch them get more and more insane as you're seeing. Okay. That's like the Us Weekly. I'm telling you, they are that ill. Uh, it's a wonderment they can still operate computer equipment and drive and use spoken language. Okay. Like this stuff is more like malignant narcissism, right? Where once they don't have control of people anymore, they start to get more and more in a like like I told you, like just right, because they're so used to be able to do it. Where that's why they have medication like lithium, because there will be gnashing of teeth. They completely flip it. Do you know anything about mental retardation, by the way? Okay. So just imagine a person who's profoundly mentally retarded. Okay. Because a person who's a narcissist has the mind of an 8 or 9 month old. That's profoundly mentally retarded. It's just that they're somewhat functioning, and people, they didn't get a diagnosis. They don't talk like you think mentally retarded people speak, and you never had like long conversations with them to realize that. Okay, so they do. If you've ever seen them, they do this and they'll bang their heads, and they can get right. That's they're gonna get like that, so they're gonna need to be medicated. The ones who burnt out their brains with meth and stuff. Uh, what can happen with me is they completely transfer all of their issues with their own mother onto me, and then it becomes, I explained some of it, it's this sickening thing because they're not capable of um, even having like a female mentor. They're not capable of doing that, so it becomes a horrifying um, uh, hatred towards me because I don't care about them and I won't give them attention, because they can't even just be regular because they're so right. They just keep constantly transferring the hatred from their mother onto me. And it's the end of any fantasy dreams about you're gonna meet the Virgin Mary. She's the all loving, all accepting mother. You're gonna go to heaven. She's gonna be there. Jesus is gonna be there to give you all the love. Like you've heard some of them talking, right? That can never happen for them because they're too filled with rage and hate and control and okay, non-human thoughts and behaviors and desires, um, and just everything that's happened. Clearly, I have no interest in them. Uh, right. I mean, people are going to have to learn what the word enough means and done. So, uh, this bralette leaves, it would never end, too. If people are like, wow, you're mean. After we're in the 11th year of this, I mean, right, it never ends. That's what I'm trying to explain. It's a horrifying condition for them where they need to just focus on something else and agree to be medicated. Something other than meth, like I said, like opium, lithium, whatever that stuff is, things that just make them go and drool and stuff. Some of it could be because they have completely they're sexual offenders, so they can't even like a mother figure is someone that they put their dick in. They can't separate from that, and so they're constantly grossed out by women and stuff because it's within themselves. It's all fine and good, just stay away from Mary Laga. It's one of those things where it should become more and more evident how ill these people are and a risk. It, we are over a year into just stay away from this woman. Just stay away from Mary Laga. Just stay away from her. Don't get close to her in a store. Don't talk to her. Don't talk to her outside on the street. Don't try to contact her online. That's one person out of 7 billion people that you're being told to socially distance from and leave her alone. Okay, because you don't even remember how this all began. The woman who touched me at the store even forgot because that Asian man came to the self checkout and started running the card when I was still standing there. So it's almost as if they don't realize themselves that they are getting sick and they're offenders. Like, I don't know what caused her to believe she's a friend of mine because we're forced to go to a store and we go to a self checkout for a reason. We don't even want to talk to a cashier. Okay, so that's a lot of confusion there. Okay. Apparently, we can't even socialize with people we want to. I haven't seen my children since 2011. I'm in a punishment because I don't want to socialize with them. I don't have an income per your stipend, your God stipend, because I don't want to socialize with them. My tent should have just been all my stuff. All of my stuff, after everything that's happened to me, all of my stuff should have been taken away again because I don't want to sit and listen to this Billy person spout off insanity. Okay? These people are gone in the mind. What was the thing? I was reminded of one of the conversations. It has to be him. Why would God do that? Unless it was someone else out at the smoke break or something. It has to be him. But now I forgot it again. Was it about the boots? The boots in the church? I don't think so, because it was two different boots ones. One was those Uggs. And then the first, I think it was the other boots first. I just think it's so funny because it's like, what year were you born? That's my age group. That's right there. Ask his high school girlfriend. She probably had nice boots too. That kind of thing? No, that's all right. I don't know. I don't know if her husband would like would like her telling us, but nothing sexual. But that would be funny if she's like, "Oh my god." Anyone, that's pretty much my age group, 1971, 19, what, 68, 69. I think it's 68, like nice boots. And he's 20, 24, 25 at the time. What the hell? I don't know. I didn't think dudes that age group still said that. That was more like my age group. I like your boots. Oh yeah, I said 2 o'clock, didn't I? And then I'll be halfway done. I'll be halfway done after this. I know it's not Sunday. She flipped my switch with me too, because I don't understand why people don't just leave unless she's talking about something else, or some morbidly insane person is purposely snippeting people's Instagram lives and thinks that they're making a joke about leave because they're mentally ill. Well, unfortunately, when people are sociopaths and psychopaths, they don't really understand that it's not really funny when someone loses all of her fucking children. And just everything that's happened to me over the past decade into the 11th year of it, it's not nothing is funny. Yeah, it's just one of those things too. When you point, it's like if you pointed out something that bothered you, they'd start doing it to you 14 times a day. Those are extremely ill people. I don't know how anybody would think that that's funny. I don't think they do. Like I said, some people can be grossly insane, where they keep telling themselves that they're making jokes when they're insane with sadism, like Jill Steinberg. And they have a completely perverted version of themselves that isn't true. I feel like I have. I don't want to talk like I sound like some of these people like that are wicked ill and think they're doctors and shit when they didn't go to medical school. Like people work in a discovery group, not Laura person. It's just if you haven't spent any time in an actual psych ward, then sometimes you don't know what you don't know what grossly insane is, because those people are usually kept under lock and key, especially when they reach the level of criminal insanity. They end up in the prison system for other people to have to deal with. I think it's interesting that John Wayne Gacy seemed to have a compassionate viewpoint of John Obama. I'd say that's pretty typical of serial killers. Well, that you could discuss that. That would be a good discussion with people that are in the FBI and stuff, or in the mental health field. If you could actually ever even have a psychopath that's a serial killer. Some people would say you couldn't have a psychopath that's a serial killer by the very definition of a serial killer, because they have a certain target, isn't it? Or you just say they've killed so many times. We'd have to look it up and see what the definition of serial killer is. You want Cheerios? If they have a certain person they target, like Jen, not that she's killing people, but they have to, right? They can have compassion for other people. They're not psychopaths. Psychopath just hates everybody, usually. Psychopaths can't have compassion, so, and they typically can make up an excuse for everybody. So whoever they would just kill everybody if they were serial killers. I don't know if they'd have a set people. Hopefully that makes sense. All right, this is all going in there. Well, that's what I was going to mention. Quincy Scott, Jen's husband, Scott, Jen's husband. Different Jen. There's a lot of people named Jennifer, huh? That's a different Jen. Scott's Jen. Remember the first time he met me in the library, he was probably like, "This chick is fucking insane." No, dude, this chick is fucking hot. So that's what happens. Maybe Jen explained it to him, probably. Dude, these men are disgusting and insane, and they will conjure up any excuse to try to talk to you. I know you probably did need a charger, but it just wasn't the day. It's not grandiose. I'm not even saying that. I'm not even like, it sounds grandiose, like they, because that's one of the things that they say to you, because they hate women generally. So there's always an insult afterwards. They know you're not going to talk to them. Right. They approach you like that as an excuse to say something to you fucked up. Okay? They're not really expecting you to go out with them. But it begins to sound grandiose unless you followed me around with the fucking camera to see it for yourself. He's working at CVS. How's he? I mean, right. Even then, he still was rude, but he didn't haul off with the thing like the guy on Washington Street did. Okay? That's all they want to do is abuse women. Some of them they probably have punched women in the face. They've probably fractured women's faces and stuff. They're violent sexual offenders. But anyways, Scott, they make up excuses to talk to you, like they need to use a fucking charger when they don't need to use a charger, or there's 15 dudes they could have asked to use a charger. Right. If you are some dude who's that much of a pussy ass and all you ever do is talk to women, you're going to have trouble out in the real world, just FYI. Because it's been a long decade, a long 13 years, and women are just like not going to have it. Nope. You need to talk to men. Stop going up to women, especially women that are alone. We don't care how old they are. Okay, like, she's old. I obviously wasn't trying to fuck her. Whatever, dude. You want to scream insults at her or something. Just find a dude to fucking talk to. For real. Some people around Quincy would think that he was going to try to hit you up for money or something. Right, so that what I was going to say is that's a regular dude who goes, Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Right. He didn't say anything rude back to me. And then later on, you see them again and they're regular with you, and that can become a friend of yours because they're not retarded. Right. I mean, look around what's happened to me since 2011. Regular dudes go, yeah, she's just obviously this is so fucked up. I'm surprised this chick says hello to anybody and doesn't jump down everybody's throat. Just everything that's happened. Whereas sexual offenders are still saying rude shit to me back. Just don't even talk to me. We don't have a reason to speak. Oh my God, her in Florida. Hopefully that's ended. I don't know what was going on there, but it's not even funny. It's not even funny. It's just that, you know what happened is I thought it had something to do with me, but then Florida told me because I was with Florida that day, and I was like, what in the hell is going on? Like it had no something had to have happened, or Scott said something to her, or it's just something about Florida because she's never done that to me. Ever, ever, ever has she done that to me. I usually do say hi to him when I see him, even before I knew he was with someone. I didn't know he had a girlfriend or anything. Because, yeah, you don't want to just be like, hey, what's up? And then he has to start introducing her to people, right? So you're not like, so she's not like, what the fuck is this? Who are these people that is talking to you? And then you don't even introduce me to them? Yeah, that is a little bit. But it's difficult when you just someone's walking by and they're like, hey, what's up? And then he's notorious for trying to say hello to me from a distance. And I've told him 14 times I can't see people. Because I'm supposed to have eyeglasses. They wouldn't give me. Right. That's all part of it too. Just people are probably being given vacation houses at this point, and a woman can't have a fucking SNAP card. So really, enough of the pretending. It's just that's what they're always going to be like. They're psychopaths and sociopaths. They're always acting. It's to them, they don't realize how obvious it is now and how insane they appear. They're not really getting it. It's like after everything that's happened, and you're just okay, you are clearly a psychopath. And that's what they do. They just but anyways, in terms of I started out saying something about it's not Sunday. I don't want to confuse people. Right. I used to always do it on Sunday, and then I got off of my track, and it's just been kind of out of control since. So today's Saturday, so I could try, and it's getting, well, it was getting warmer. I could say, okay, now I'm going to go back to doing it one day a week, so it's not as confusing for other people. Some of it is because she started doing it on Sunday. Oh, this is going to go back now. I got one more word. All right. So, oh, I shouldn't have brought that back in here. Actually, I am going to want to put this back on. It felt pretty cold. I don't know if I mentioned that at the beginning this morning with the temperature going up and down. That should be more obvious now in terms of cracking nuclear seals. Well, I was going to say for the guys in the military, that's a warning because clearly you're perceived as the quote unquote enemy if you're working in store. So people really just don't, it's not just me either, because there's people that you people haven't even done this stuff to. Just as an FYI, and they don't want to talk to you either. That's what I've been told. Because she was saying something about Tommy goes to a self-checkout because he doesn't want to talk to anyone. And it's like, you've been printing this guy money for how long? And you're letting him occupy a house, and right. So those people don't even want to talk to you either. I think some of it is because they're in some other sort of thing where they keep telling themselves that they're not of the they them. But anyways, all right, back to Us Weekly. 231. So I'll check it at 3 because that's a much smaller load. Yeah, I'm kind of glad I did that today. So I'm not really that far off from what I normally eat. It's just typically I'm walking, right? So I'm not getting agitated and stuff. It's right because I was up and I walked to a food pantry and back. So my body is like, what's going on? I could tell it. I could tell that there was like a rage because yesterday I didn't have all that fat and well, yeah, that's not true. I did. I had the fat and the pistachios, but no raisins and no oatmeal and no milk. And then at dinner, I had a salad. I didn't even have fruit last night. So my body is like, what is going on? My muscles, I can tell, are all like, my back. It's going to be from carrying the soda and the water. I don't know if I want to do that again tomorrow. I'm not really going to have much of a choice. It's worth it when you do it, but at the time it sucks. Yeah, 15 miles and then carrying that all the way from Dollar Tree. It's heavy. Well, the soda lasts me like 2 to 3 days. It depends because I'm waiting to eat, so I'm drinking this so I don't freak out. And because I know I'm set to get some more of it tomorrow, so I don't have to sort of conserve any of it. But I think it's been 2 to 3 days. Depends on the day. Usually 3 days, which makes sense. It's like a liter a day. That's what I was doing before. I have my coffee, then I have a liter of soda, and then I would drink probably a liter or 2 liters of water. Huge zucchini today, which was good. No cucumber. Two bags of salad stuff, but that's not the same as like that head of lettuce is a lot. There's probably people that make 4 salads out of that because they probably don't eat like I do. They're not pigs. But I mean, like a cucumber and lettuce is not going to last that long. So it's kind of like, right. It was just weird that every week there was a head of lettuce and then all of us like, it's not the food pantry people, but can you see justifiable paranoia? Like, did someone get upset like I was enjoying a salad too much? So, right. Sometimes, like, I don't know if it's a disassociation or not. When now they're going to try to force me to go into a grocery store to buy greens. Right. Then what happens? Because I have to use money. Okay. Am I betraying other people? Or other people going to get mad at me? Am I betraying them if I go to a store buy something because they're just going to a food pantry? Like what's the thought process there? You know what I'm saying? Like trying to pit people against each other and stuff, and you just go, okay, so why did you snippet my Instagram live just about me talking about people? Why don't people just leave? Why did you do that? Okay. Was there some sort of envy going on because Mary had just like basically was acting like she liked me and she approved of me and she was saying I was this person, turkey, and So is that why you did it? Like, did you really think it was funny, or you got upset because whoever you are, you got some impression that she doesn't like you? Right. That's how people become offenders and they end up in prison. Just FYI. Right. Sometimes people don't know that their thinking is similar to people that do end up in the past in the prison system or in some sort of military prison or a psychiatric hospital or something. It's not for people like Aaron Carter. No, I like a lot of times the population doesn't understand that that you can't. I shouldn't say you can't do something, but in terms of the mental health field in the criminal justice system, it's not really where there's this 11-year documented torment of a woman, and then people are going to perceive her to be ill or she's mentally ill, and that's how mentally ill people appear, or she's going to go to jail and stuff. Um, uh, I think when you think that you're orchestrating people getting appearing crazy, like Betty Broderick, or you're orchestrating people going to commit a crime and then they're going to go to jail, that's how you end up in a psychiatric hospital. Um, oh man, I was so relaxed yesterday too. After lunch and everything, just I was like totally chill. No, I don't think so because I'm sort of like, is he on something? Why is everything so chill? Maybe he's just relaxed. Okay, that's weekly. Sorry, I'm gonna start getting tired. Well, I woke up about 5:52 because I woke up and I that curtain's closed, as you know, and I can tell that it's not completely dark. So I know it's time that I have to get up. So I flip open this thing and hit the button, and then it just goes to the screen and has the time. And it was like 5:52. I was like, but everybody that did it today, isn't it just like I said? Once you check in, aren't you after that like this is, it's pretty much over. And then after you get the stuff, you're like, yay. I always get wicked heated up on the way back pushing that thing. And I determined today that when I chose what I was going to wear, that I was not taking my coat off because sometimes I do, even when it's bitterly cold because I'm so hot. And I was like, I've screwed myself. I made a decision this morning. I wasn't taking this coat off no matter how hot I get. Sister Wives, Cody Brown. I know what. Remember when I thought Alex's name was Cody? And then he got mad because I didn't know his name. Right. It was like, oh, yeah, Cody, right? Alex. He said it just like that, too. He never talks like that. He was definitely in some sort of rare form. I don't know if he was like um, needed to use or something, whatever they call that, dope sick. Oh, yeah, he was definitely like total punk ass. I've never seen him act like that again. It doesn't mean he doesn't, but oh, yeah, a little bit when he goes, get in the car, babe. But that he didn't sound as sort of like annoyed, like Alex, just like at the Stop and Shop. Who is it? Alex. It's like I can't see. It's not like I forgot who you are. I'm blind. All right, let's see. Probably. Look, I don't know why you're trying to talk to me. It's Sean. Everybody in these face masks. You don't even know what I look like. But Sister Wise, Cody Brown, parenting do's and don'ts. Okay. I guess I should take my boots off. That's a good idea. I know that's in the Us Weekly. Yes, I brought her stuff up. I figured this, She had a bag down there. Honestly, part of it is because I'm pretty sure she doesn't even do her own laundry. He probably did it and then he forgot to rotate it. I'm really not that much of an asshole. Right. It's like that's the only reason I didn't get desserts. They had all kinds of desserts. She just told me last week not to go there anymore. I felt like she was gonna be pissed if I presented all sorts of food out there again after she did that. But then I think she was expecting the food because she says things that she doesn't even mean because she's insane. And then she doesn't correct herself. She will, and she'll be like, "Oh, I don't mean that. No, I don't know anything." That's what I'm saying. I'm on the way back from the food pantry talking, going, this crap's probably been going on since as long as I got here in 1971 with everybody. And people don't even, because when you're a kid, you don't know when someone says weird stuff to you. Right. It's like, and then other people around you just think you're some sort of asshole. Like all of a sudden, why didn't you? All of a sudden, there's nothing from the food pantry. No, it's not all of a sudden. There's nothing from the food pantry. I don't, it's like, no, exactly. No matter what I do, it's like, I'm not going to deal with being yelled at right when I'm ready to eat my food every single day. The only thing I have control over, by the way, is desserts and bread. And they didn't even offer bread today. So maybe it's just one of those weeks, and the thing with the lettuce doesn't have anything to do with them. That's what I'm saying. It might go rotate every week what they give out, and it's that time of the month again where they give out the shrimp and the pork loin. I ate the pork loin last time, but I mean clearly I'm not supposed to be eating it. It's in the Bible that I'm not supposed to eat pork. I didn't eat the shrimp. They didn't eat the shrimp either. I don't think they would have ever eaten the pork loin. Even Tommy, I don't think eats pork anymore. So that might be why they're getting so much of it donated. Well, I'm not a child, so I would prefer they not give that to households that have children in it. You can't control people's lives, but adults were asked not to feed that stuff to children. It's almighty. To some degree, you have to just let it go, right? You can't get into that level of control in people's lives. All you can do is give them the information, and then it's almighty. God wouldn't put children in a household like that if there was going to be an issue and they, you know. But yeah, in a way, you take away my kids when I'm trying to get them on the Bible's, ordinances. And this woman doesn't even won't even give them skim milk. She has Al drinking whole milk with his family history, morbid obesity and heart disease, and he's just puffing away. She's probably hoping he dies. She probably assumes she's going to collect his Social Security, which I don't care about. It's like, whatever, just go away. Whatever keeps you happy to reduce your abuse on children. The hell I care about that. Could you imagine people like that if he had to pay me money? Every week or whatever it was, my children would have to suffer because of it and listen to it. Right. That's why people just walk away and go, just keep all your whatever it is that you think you're hiding from me, just keep it. All your mini bicycles and your motorcycles, whatever the fuck it is. You put your children's fucking home in a bankruptcy so that we'd have to be fucking kicked out of the house anyway. You're just bound and determined to just destroy me and your children's fucking lives because you're insane. Just do whatever it is you're gonna do, dude. Just do it the fuck away from me. Hopefully they're in some kind of delusion where they're not going to die or something and it's helping their behavior. Coming to America is officially here. And I mean, now the children are like 19 years old. The twins are like 19. I mean, right. You just go, dude, get the fuck away from me. It's a halt on evictions. You want to stop your own fucking kid? Go right ahead. Add that to your fucking list of deeds. Yeah, stop fucking MLK and Daniel Pearl because we're not working or whatever the fuck the problem is this week. Fucking Christ. Why does Daddy have to go to jail so much? He's in a fucking coma too. Ian Frank, fucking, as you call her. MLK, as you call him. We're all in a fucking coma continuously. Caitlin Bristow slams trolls over the Bachelorette hosting gig. Is that starting to bother people? Is it making people anxious? Sorry. We'll do this. That's why sometimes it's more soothing just to have someone talking in the background, like the news, but we don't want to listen to the news because it'll drive you mad. And they're on total ignore. All right, let's see. Celebrating celebration. I would assume there's no trial because it's Saturday. We have to wait till Monday. if I had a boyfriend, yeah, I'm sure he'd probably be like, oh my God. Is there some reason you're talking to me right now? Because it's social distancing. Probably someone in that store needed to hear that because, like I told you, right, it was a different guy the last time. It, his wasn't as bad. Nope. I didn't feel like his was as bad, but he was rushing to get stock to bring it to the aisle, like right up behind me. And then he goes, oh, excuse me. He didn't touch me or anything. I could just sense that someone was coming up behind me. I don't think that was actually as bad because he didn't touch me. Right. The other guy came up and was trying to talk to me. Yeah. So it's like, that's not excuse me like I'm in your way. Okay. And then he admitted it that he was going to tell me what the other thing he was. You don't need to do that. Right. I'm not that impatient. Myers and I mean, what the hell's going on there too? They have to be just giving these people mercury injections, right? Or is it a saline? Well, we are all wearing the face mask now, so right. It's almost like every single one of those people are they voluntarily getting vaccines? I know. I was saying that on the way back. from CVS, I go into I don't even know if I had the phone on. Who the fuck cares? Half the reason that's probably why some people are wearing them so they can talk. But anyways, I really don't care what anyone thinks of me. I shouldn't say anyone, but a sane person doesn't think anything of that. Let's put it that way. A sane person goes, "Yep." Every person walking around just like in this fucking every sane person just goes, "Yep." Anyways, right, it's like for all I know, they could be forcing my children to work just as an excuse to inject my children with fucking mercury, right? But this is the thing that God already took care of, okay? I would have no fucking way of knowing that, right? It God already took care of all of that. So they can't even display that shit to me. You get what I'm saying? Right. So I believe that they're as sadistically insane as a person can get. Okay. So, anyways, right. Like now, oh, yeah. Now we'll force people to work and then we'll force them to get mercury injections instead of just giving everybody a fucking card with the same amount or just what I was fucking getting. Do you get what I'm saying? You have to use your noggin. Use your noggin when deciding that you're going to war with people. I don't want you to war with anybody, but you just use your noggin and go, these people are, God is clearly ended these people's existence. They're so insane. You go, okay, so y- you refuse to give people just a card, just a basic thing that they, whether you want to call it money, a snap card, some way to get clothing, like the minimum toiletries, clothing, like footwear and food for each and every month. And that's all these people want. They don't they'll live in tents and roam around the land piece. You don't even have to house these people. They don't even want medical care. Okay. And you refuse to do that. Okay. So now are you going to force people that are working, that you're forcing to work, by the way, to get mercury injections? Okay. Well, again, you people are going to do whatever you're going to do and no one cares. That's why they're all lined up there like we stand where, because they probably don't even care. It's like whatever these people are fucking injecting into us, it's almighty. Whatever the fuck's going to happen, just commit my fucking spirit because for real. All right, Maya's in the mouse SeaWorld too. SeaWorld. Yeah, they haven't done SeaWorld yet. Here's another one, Magic Kingdom. Okay. 365 days, no justice, no peace. Right. That's the no knock warrant. I know we're like over a year now. You just like go blink, blink, and now their entire reality is going to alter and they'll forget everything that happened. Right. But they're somehow entering into eternal life where they can't remember a year ago, 5 years ago, 10 years ago. Okay. So, how did this come about? This thing with the face mask, how did that come about? Okay. Remember that? The house managers, remember that? Right, because that's what they call the house managers at these rooming houses that Father Bill's place was giving out when people wouldn't stop knocking on my fucking door, and then they started screaming at me when we found out that these people are morbidly insane Nazis. Right, that's their previous, obviously, and here they are again, just as insane. Where they're Indians. Right, that's the presentation that it has absorbed me into herself and thinks that she's me. But then, as she's me, she's going to try to rape me and she's going to try to teach me things as she's me. It's a morbid insanity. Right. Um, I don't know what's going on with Allie, but she seemed to present to me that she has the same issue that she has. She is probably a narcissist and she projects and absorbs, right? Um, I thought it was a little bit concerning when Alex called me Maria when we were just talking about Maria. Like he's having a little bit of mental confusion. So, anyways, non-stop techno wave radio. Well, I don't know if that's going to help, but I said, is that too much? Is it making people anxious? Yeah. How about some techno? That'll help. I noticed it yesterday because of the time of the year. That tree is gonna bloom soon. I'm already having allergies and it hasn't even bloomed yet. And it all of a sudden, just one day, that tree will have leaves on it. It's weird. But yeah, I think it's an oak tree because I'm very allergic to oak. It's one of my things. Just itchy nose, sneezing, itchy palate. It can get bad where I just sneeze and 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 sneeze. But once in Florida, they gave me some prescription, and all it does is make you tired, makes you lethargic. I think it helps a little bit. Like it doesn't relieve all the symptoms. It's almost like it just stops you from continuously sneezing and not having as much of an itchy palate. But it's not as bad here. And it's weird because in Florida, when we moved to the third house, I didn't have that. Right. It was something about that Magnolia Point. It was bad because it was wicked windy there. And whatever, maybe there's a lot of oak trees around there or something, like on either side of the property. Yeah. It was bad there. But when I went into the third house, it wasn't like that. No oak trees. Those are on the other side of the. I know some people are probably like, why didn't you pick a lot that has a couple of big oak trees? I'm glad I didn't. No, I wouldn't pay more for a piece. I mean, obviously, this is all delusion world stuff, but I wouldn't pay more for a piece of property because it had an oak tree on it and it was half the size of mine, and it's not on the water. No, you just plant trees that grow fast. I don't like female voices usually, and yeah, I don't like female voices in songs a lot of times. Just a thing. CBS East Dedham, home of the male sexual offender. That's two this month. It's probably every other town. It's probably every town. That dog, good God. That dog isn't going to stop barking until the day it dies. The only time that dog didn't bark like that is when they were camping outside. I don't know if it's because the dog was always with him. That's probably what it is. It's so bad that that dog will go and lay in the bathroom like the cat did. I told you that when the heat comes out, because the dog is just expecting to be laying on a person 24 hours a day. Myers and the Mouse, SeaWorld. Yeah, maybe that. What's this? Is this actually in Venice? What is this? These are people from another country that are in the chat. That's well, as long as you're not being victimized by insane people. But yeah, in the past, that would be a good place to practice your language skills. I know life is going to be so much better when all these sick people are dead, isn't it? That has to actually be a concern. Like a high school student can't just go online in a chat room. I know it's just that's why I think it's just, oh no, this is not just Venice. They must just be showing different places. In a sense, it's better for sexual offenders and um, people that have an issue with killing people that are sexual offenders when they're in a prison system or psychiatric hospital. There's a lot more, I think, compassion and sympathy and willingness to listen to their plight and stuff when they're in that type of a setting. Because when they're just out in the quote unquote regular area, I don't even want to call it a world anymore, but um, yeah, because clearly I don't find that they do that they want to talk about abusing children and stuff. It's like a compulsion that they can't stop doing. So they're usually happier when they're in more of an environment where that's not even possible for them to do. Okay, let's see. I guess SeaWorld. Frenchie Clearwater Beach Camp. Frenchie's? Is that the that's the place we went to? Gross Jim Morrison and a few of us. There's probably more than one. Pretty sure it was called Frenchie's. Is that what I said it was called? No, that's not Clearwater Beach, is it? Yeah, that's Clearwater Beach. Dunedin, Clearwater Beach. Is there a hotel right across from it? Oh, there was. They didn't tear it down. No, it was at nighttime. Probably. I'm sure he went to the beach with probably four chicks during their stay there. Just that 1 month. The guy is that disgusting, believe me. Nightmare. Nightmare, nightmare. It never happened. So gross. Obviously, like now, just my whole idea about the Sean thing and stuff, it's like it's just a totally different thing that doesn't even have to do with any of that. That's like being, I don't even know if you want to say, it's not even like sex. It's not like being raped. It's like being abused by somebody. It has nothing to do with anything that's real, real relationship or anything. You just go. Just the whole contrast about with men that are actual men and they have caring hearts and stuff, and then you just have these disgusting, just animal like people. Right. That's why when women start talking, no, I guess I don't like to, no offense, because I personally, there's a lot of things about this woman, but it's not really personal. It's just the stuff that she's saying. You just go, you really need a lot more socialization and you need a lot of recovery time because obviously the men that she's come into contact with are just vile. That doesn't mean that all men are like that. It's not fair to an entire population on a planet, half of the population on a planet, to just be like, men like young girls. What? There, I mean, any father goes, what? Men like young girls? Where are you getting that from? Right. Because she apparently used to work in the sex industry, as they call it. She was a sex worker. She said, I don't want to accuse her of things. I thought that's what she said. 3:05. I guess I should go check my laundry so I can eat. But we all know that there's male sexual offenders, but I really don't think just across the board men like young girls. Well, some of it is because it seems like when she was young, like she said, she was a sex worker, and then she met some dude, and I don't know if they were married or not, and he was much older than her. So her perceptions are like she needs to talk to other women because, first of all, there's a lot of female sexual offenders that like young men. I don't know if I'd call those boys, but they're too young for these women to be going out with. Some of them are not even old enough to court. And then you have women in like their 30s that are hot, and men that are in their 20s don't like young girls. No. So to me, her perceptions are warped. Like that would be the group of men that I would come into contact with. They like women that are like in their 30s and they're sort of, easy and experienced and they like sex a lot. Right. They don't like young girls because I'm not like Kim Kardashian and I don't and do the soft voice and the makeup hair and the right. So there's a whole bunch of men that don't even like that. Never mind young girls. I don't even look. I've always had an oval face and sort of I don't think I've ever been accused of being younger than I am. Like when I was younger, you get what I'm saying? Like people were thought I was 18 or something. Right. So it's offensive. It's offensive. I got to say, it's offensive. And I have three sons who are all young men now. So there's a whole bunch of men that don't even like women sexually. But to just say that every male on a planet is a pedophile, that's yeah, that's but I can tell that she's in a process because she's right. And then she gets kind of mad because she feels like she says she has no shame, but she clearly does. Right. Because you can just tell by the way she's talking and she gets mad. And then all of a sudden, in the next couple of sentences, it's something else. So that's what pondering is. It's not two profoundly mentally retarded non-humans going back and forth like bebop, bop, beep, bebop, bop, beep, and they think that's funny. Ha 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 ha. Because that's what your debate thing is with your Republicans and your Democrats. It's like profoundly mentally retarded non-humans think that's funny. They don't even know what a thinking mind is. They just mock it and make fun of it. Or they try to pretend like you would think a profoundly mentally retarded person. They're trying to pretend that they're you, but they're doing it in two people. And it doesn't even make any sense. And it doesn't come to a logical conclusion. Another day. Just about done what I had to do today. After I left the room, it was like someone said, "Yeah, and which one of them thinks they're God?" In that whole debate forum. If you ask me, I think they both think they are. It reminds me, no offense to the guy who said this, I'm not saying that you're like them, but it's like an example given. When that Paul guy was talking about kangaroos or something, and the guy was like acting like Paul was a complete nut job. Like he's talking to me like I'm going to agree with him, like Paul's a complete nut job. And I'm just like, I have kangaroos in my sneakers. Because I did. The guy just didn't know what he was talking about. It's like that. It's like people, they don't know what you're talking about, so they just act like you're crazy. So that's like your Republicans and your Democrats. They think people that think and ponder and come to and have logic, they think that there's something wrong with them. They think they're wackos, that none of that has any meaning and that you're just talking nonsense. They don't know anything about ethics or morals or philosophy or logic or the humanitarians or whatever they call it, the humanities. That's why they're called humanities, I'm sure. I remember Al trying to explain to me what philosophy was because one of his roommates in college, that was his major. Could you imagine? I don't know, wherever the guy is now, if he's ever seen me online, he's probably like, what in the hell? Some of the stuff isn't totally dry, and I was like, no way. I like it's just one of those things because it's a smaller load, just like I said. And the dry will do that. The other load I almost expected not to be dry, and it was. But anyways, could you imagine you're a philosophy major in college and some Cro-Magnon brings this woman back to your apartment and you never have a conversation with them? Or vice versa, I suppose. But to me, that's funny. You just go, what in the? I'm not even hanging this up this time. This had to have shrunk because I didn't. I know it's like it's not like pants where you go. I guess you just put on weight. That had to have shrunk. It's something about the material. It was in no way that tight. Like even the sleeves went up like this. Wait, let's see. I forgot I was supposed to wash those out. Now there's a stain on them. Oh well. I'll have to get some more underwear eventually. Yeah, I don't know. That's what I'm saying, where people think people are supposed to get underwear. Obviously, they know by now. I mean, come on. It's just, that's why I said it's like, it's social distancing. That's why the SNAP office is closed. That's why everything's closed down. Right. It's no more forced socialization. The only way they can do it is through food and water and whatever, toiletries or goods. Eventually, I'm going to have to get sneakers. I mentioned that because I was already starting to get a blister. I used to go to Savers. I have to see if it's open. I used to walk up there. Well, I don't know. I don't know if that would cause toe fungus or that's from the stuff at the church, because I got to say the stuff at the church, the footwear, it's good to have it. Don't get me wrong. I don't want to sound complaining. The one in Quincy, but the stuff at Savers is not like that, right? It's like sometimes stuff does go in the trash. Um, it's clearly footwear is one of those things where it's some sort of a people are wearing footwear till it's completely worn out. It's what it seems like. Which you some people the pizza obviously there's people that have closets full of things. Maybe they gave it to Savers, or they're put like because even the Goodwill, uh, their footwear is not good, and it's expensive. Like if you someone said something about going to Goodwill, that's right. The other woman whose stuff I actually don't mind listening to with the cute dogs and the drunk driving. What's that called? Public service announcement, which some people need to hear repeatedly. Um, well, sometimes people do need to feel guilty so that they stop doing something that harms other people. Yes. So sorry, not sorry. Um, Also, if you smoke marijuana and you drive, that's driving under the influence, or crack or meth or whatever. Probably people be arguing that till the day they die that they'd say a drug like that, you're hyper alert, you wouldn't get an accident like a drunk. That might be true. I don't know. Just something to think about. I'd rather see people stop using meth, honestly, and stop driving at this point. Just stop using meth and keep driving around, but just don't smoke meth while you're doing it. Or smoke meth at all. Terrible, terrible drug. That's why I keep saying they put these people on something else. It's like you don't wish that stuff on your worst enemy. Terrible. It can be very counterproductive too. Not to beat up on the people that were trying to smoke these people out. I'm pretty sure it wasn't meth that they were given back then. We have two things to hang up and then Lunch. This is what I was talking. It looks like they took it out of confinement or something. There's dust on the top of it. They took it out of their fallout shelter. $2.75 at Family Dollar. Unsalted, yep. It's a seal, I think so. Right, those will be gone by tomorrow, but no, if you need them.
I know. It was a better job. You're welcome. All right. Sorry, y'all. So we will go back. I just look at the time stuff so that we can. Oh, this is the roller coaster that goes under the water into the circuit. I saw that. All right. Oh, look, they're like hover boats. I guess it's the hover boats are not working. The whole pandemic thing. What you gonna make her go by? There it is. That's kind of fun. So is that the museum place every time the coaster goes by? I'm almost sure. Oh, there. Let's. All right. Sorry. Too expensive to waste. Too much to eat. All right. Oh my gosh, that sounds so intimidating going right over your head. So where are we? We're by the shark. So I think we're really close to your guy.
Well, where did I put it? Tell me. Where is it? I thought. No.
You guys dizzy yet? That was craziness, wasn't it? Oh, somebody won. All right. I think I'm not too sure because I haven't been in the front so long. Oh, okay, MVP. Oh my gosh. Okay, MVP. I am not too. Poor thing. Oh my gosh. I had my phone touch under my arm, and it
Open
leaving a
the door.
message that to you messaging me right now. Okay, Mama, I know, sweet. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, so sorry. I have my phone under my arm and I didn't lock it out. Maybe go into snooze. So I accidentally tapped you out. I deleted you and tapped you out. I'm sorry. It's not uncommon. All right. Brazil. The Brazilian market. So we're gonna have to come back. Maybe I can get Kelly to come up here and we can try around the world. I'm so glad you understand, sweetheart. I'm so sorry. Oh my gosh. Oh, this is the Atlantis. No, this is the oh, yeah. Look at this, guys. So this is like Cali River Mountain. Which looks so refreshing right now. She was adorable. Did you guys see that whole time? Alright. The family is stitches. Oh my gosh, good.
Okay, find something to watch while I'm eating. The brain. The only curiosity would be, but you're never going to get that from them. Not someone like her. You'd have to ask just a typical Alzheimer's patient doesn't have her mental health history. If you could find such a person with that level of animal behaviorisms, which you may not be able to, like you might think that they're don't have her history when they do. But anyways, I can hear her talk. She immediately when she sees that I'm doing something with food, she starts talking about coffee. So then I can hear her as I'm preparing my food. I can hear her walking around the house talking like as if she's looking for a coffee cup. She keeps saying that, right? So I head to go up here with my bowl of food, and she's standing in the downstairs hallway, even with her hand on the staircase like this to completely block it. And she's waiting for me to come out, and she goes, ah, ha, 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 and laughs. So I move out of the way. I say nothing. I move out of the way and I wait for her. It's like you thought your coffee cup was out there. Right. So it's to ask, like, if it's like, are you like a drug addict and you're making up a story that you missed the bus and now you don't have any money to buy a ticket home, or do you actually not realize what you just did and how insane that is? Anyways, they'd probably be like, I think you're overanalyzing. No, she's not. Ask someone who works with quote unquote Alzheimer's patients. But the thing is, you're not really grasping it fully because these people are not human beings. You probably have people that when they get Alzheimer's, they degrade and it's a different type of thing. Anyways, see if there's one with this. She is talking, but I don't think this is going to hold my attention long enough to be able to finish my food, if you get what I'm saying. Because I'll start talking or something. I don't know how to explain it. I want something that I'm actually, I shouldn't say I'd start talking. Like I can't stop talking. I want something that, oh, it's that. Crap. I think it was about the trial. The Church of Israel questions and answers. Okay. I'll do that. Well, the Church of Israel would definitely have a concern about why people with the printer can't provide a food pantry with food that's not against the Jewish laws, as you call them. Except for the fact that we don't want to feed into these people's insanity where they do shit to get our attention. So I would just keep ignoring them.
And you are not circumcised on the eighth day, you still have to be circumcised, especially to be able to take the Passover. So if you want the Lord's glory, you definitely need to be circumcised.
Next question. So I'm gonna deal with this. This is the same person that asked the same question last week. So you're saying you're not trying to be graphic, but you don't have to be as detailed with that.
Circumcised means kept apart, separate.
With your wife, a husband and wife, your bed is not defiled. So whatever you doing to your husband and wife, as long as it's natural, then you can do that. So we're not even gonna read that question out. We didn't delete it off of there, so I'm pretty sure y'all understand what we're getting at. So your bed is not defiled between husband and wife. Okay. Oral sex,
There's a place and a time for if sexual offenders need counsel and acceptance into they're calling it a church. It's not during this question and answer session.
So when it comes to a haircut, we know as in modern society that we have to be groomed a certain type of way, especially to get into the work field. To be, you might have a promotion party and stuff like that. Even Joseph shaved himself to be presented before Pharaoh, right? Because he had to do as far as their customs. If we had it our way, when none of us who walk in this walk, we wouldn't walk around, with the crispy lines and stuff like that. So we're not telling you to get a haircut. We're not telling you not to get a haircut, but you can't come to no job interview, without looking clean and crisp.
If you're stuck in a shelter, you might want to oil up your hair if you're not going to cut it and shave it.
Now, what exactly are the corners of your head? I'll be fabricating and making up some if I knew exactly where the corners were. That's why I go to the barbershops as less as possible. And when I do, I tell them, man, look, man, just tap around my line, and because I don't want it to look like, the appearance of evil and not doing what the scriptures say. Now if I got something I'm going to and I gotta look a certain type of way, then I might have to do it. You know what I'm saying? But as far as my beard and all that, I'll let my job know in the door, I have to keep this. If they require it, the restaurant industry, some of them require you to have a clean shaved face. They got hairnets, but some of them that's your uniform. They want your face clean, ball. And at that time, you might have to do what you have to do. I'm not telling you to not feed your household.
Plus, raises cost money. That's part of the reason they withhold them from you.
27 say, ye shall not round the corners of your heads, neither shalt thou mar the corners of thy beard. So that's exactly what I'm saying. The corners of your head, I can say this right here, the front, left, right, and I can say the back, left, right. I can't specify that. So, I don't even deal with barbers as it is. But when I do, I tell them, just take it easy with that razor. I don't touch my face like that, especially under my neck. I just tap that. I'm trying to look, I guess, a little more.
Some people have friends that do it because they're obviously not charging them.
You have to get a haircut to present yourself before modern day Pharaoh, which is the government or whatever. You gotta do what you gotta do. If we got letters for that as well. As far as keeping your beard. So just pray on that thing and yeah.
You really want to try to avoid quote unquote these people as much as you can, because it's just gonna defile your spirit, and just we're all gonna seem like we're street thugs and we hate everybody, quote unquote.
I'm not eating no raw salmon, but some of the sushi rolls that they have, the salmon is smoked. So if it's smoked all the way, that means there's no blood in it and it's cooked thoroughly. So that's edible. That's okay to eat. Now if it got some blood running through that, you can see because salmon got a certain pattern in the under the flesh, and you can see it. You can see the redness, you can see the spot, and you can see the streams of blood. Don't eat that. But if it's smoked salmon, that stuff is already cooked. I mean, they had it in there with
18 hours in 2 days. You don't play around when they smoke this sound. Good question. Next question.
What does God mean when he says, honor thy father and thy mother?
You got people trying to drag people from the ground and make them work, and that's a detox, as they're telling these people to keep charging us. So you don't really want to, you don't even know who you're actually talking to, and then you have to feel guilty about shit and everything. So it's really better off to just avoid it all as much as possible.
Honor thy father and thy mother, that thy days may be long upon the land which the Lord thy God giveth thee.
So when you honor something, you uphold it, you obey it, you reverence it, you don't disrespect it. So some people have a lot of problems with their, a lot of people, should I say, have problems with their parents, and they don't have the best relationship.
You got insane dudes on sidewalks in the town of Dedham, and I gotta tell you, not one single one of them is white. So that doesn't help things.
Stuff like that. No, you don't listen to that. But if they tell you, hey, this is my household, this is the way stuff is done, that, hey, you gotta honor that. You know what I'm saying? You might have to go in the garage for the day because they want to pollute it with you. But that's still, you still have to respect that household. You still got to respect your mother and your father. Kids nowadays, I've seen kids and heard kids cuss their mama out. So that's not honoring the reverence of your parent. Even if they cuss you out, you just take it and you move around because they are the parent. And it's a commandment. He got it in there for a reason.
So Jarrell, you are saying that I already have my hot water in the thermos.
If you think I'm nice to white guys who talk to me, you're wrong. It's just, at least they're not walking and walk doing it. There's other people around when they're doing it.
So, okay, here's what I will say. So, when they already, okay, it's prep the day before. Made hot, this is the code, right? So you got hot boiling water, and the next day you just say, well, it's hot boiling water, so I just want to pour it on my oatmeal, or pour it on the hot dogs, or pour it on my ramen noodles. There's no difference with that, because what you're doing is you're changing the temperature of something else with the hot boiling hot water that you had already in a thermos. So if your coffee,
If every grocery store was closed, right, and just every week it's pork loin or something, I wouldn't even say anything. I just went to a store, shelf of nuts, even Family Dollar, shelf of nuts at CVS.
Leave it in the thermos. You don't take the hot water and try to dab it in the spaghetti. Just leave it. Don't try to, because you'll find yourself probably, polluting. So it's a good question.
absolutely. But the thing is, it has to be prepared the day before. Because I know, like, it's like, you would think, like, oh, it's just pour water, and I'm just pouring it on there. And it's the oatmeal's already put together. But you're increasing the temperature on something else other than what was already. So the thermos itself, that's a way for you to keep that water at a certain temperature, right? Same thing with coffee. Or, like me, I don't never need my coffee to be hot because I like iced coffee. So I can leave mine in the refrigerator. If somebody make my iced coffee hot, I'll be like, I don't want that. You know what I mean? So it's all about keeping it at that temperature. But I'm not about to, because I'm going to get some boiling hot water. I'm going to pour this over here and maybe some hot sauce. I can't do that. If it's boiling hot water, 30-degree burning water, yeah, you do it. So, yeah, that's adding temperature to something else. So, great question. Yeah, I hope I answered that one. You're not supposed to increase the temperature of anything on the Sabbath day because it's a lot of them. Next question.
Why did Jesus pick 12 disciples? Because of the 12 tribes of Israel? Yes. Next question.
I think that's exactly right. Next question.
How long can a man's hair be who is not under a Nazarite vow and it not be considered a shame unto him?
So here's the thing. When we read, let's go to 1 Corinthians. I believe it's 11. Yeah, 1 Corinthians 11. And go pick it up.
And Freddie Mercury says, we only get two.
So get right to it. 1 Corinthians 11 and verse
At twins, at a woman's 29 years old, and she's 49 years old. Now, how many children do you think she could have? She had 6 kids in 7 years. How many kids would she had in the 20 years following that?
Okay, so we got two brothers with long hair, right? They don't look like no woman with their long hair. So nature itself tells you that if a man has long hair, and it's a shame on the hair, but it's basically talking about being the appearance of a woman. And same thing with the woman with the appearance of a man. So when I see a woman, she got a sharp line, waves, everything, and she's doing it to try and look like a man, that's a shame. Same thing with the man. You see these brothers out, not brothers, well, I call brothers, whatever, but LGBTQ and all that other stuff like that, they be trying to have their long Brazilian hair the same way that a woman would. Now that is shameful because they just saw, you never seen a Barbie with long blonde hair? No. You always see Barbie Ken with short hair because that's what it is. But men can have long hair as long as it doesn't look how a woman's hair looks. That's pretty much what it's all about. Right. Hey, but who was that? Second Samuel. Go to Second Samuel.
Yeah, go to Samuel.
Shoot up to the point because I don't want to bother the corners of my head. I'm like, get down to the brother. My stuff started to lock up already. I'm like, man, I'm trying to comb my hair.
Who's David? That's the one, isn't it? Samuel.
So this is 2 Samuel 14 and 25. It says, but in all Israel there was none to be so much praised as Absalom for his beauty. This wasn't no salt. Absalom wasn't salt. He was just saying, his brother was, a handsome brother, it made him handsome. For the soul, from the sole of his foot even to the crown of his head, there was no blemish in him. And he pulled his head, for it was at every year's end that he pulled it. So how long did that? I know some people who have grown. I'm talking about like wildfires. To grow really fast and get really long. So but Absalom wasn't looking like a woman. He just pulled it every year for it. I guess it was him.
I think for courting and marriage, right? Obviously. But you get one of those, right? And then every other person, you shouldn't care what their hair looks like, right? Because they're just a person that doesn't even have sexual organs, right?
I don't know. But as long as you ain't looking like no woman that got the appearance. If I'm looking at you and I'm 10, 20 feet from you and I can't tell if you're a man or a woman, you probably should be nice with your hair. You know what I'm saying? So that's it. Yeah. Next question. If you come into the truth with the bastard child,
Uh-oh.
If they definition of a bastard was what the modern definition or whatever they want to say, Hellenistic.
We don't want anyone to be tricked, but right, obviously the LGBTQ community would have a field day with this, but that doesn't mean you're gay. Okay?
It says, bring no more vain oblations. Incense is an abomination unto me. The new moons and Sabbaths. The calling of
Oh my God, that was so funny.
It is iniquity, even the solemn meat.
Like Twilight, the new moons and Sabbaths.
Can you explain Isaiah 1 and 13? It explains itself. Let's read it again. So does it apply to Israel? It applies exactly to Israel. He said, as a matter of fact, let's start it at verse 8. So Israel is out here basically, it's a show called Naked and Afraid. That's how Israel is. Go ahead. That's why we know what we know now. That's why we gathered on the Sabbath. That's why we trying to keep these laws, statutes, and commandments to the best of our ability now.
We should have been at Sodom. And we shouldn't have been like unto you. So you know what that means? That means we should have got pride too. We should be out of there too. Because Israel, we don't want to do right. Go ahead. Hear the word of the Lord, you rulers of Sodom. Give ear unto the law of our God, you people of Gomorrah. To what purpose is the multitude of your sacrifices unto me? Say, what good is your sacrifice? They ain't doing nothing because you turn around doing the same thing. Them sacrifice don't mean nothing to me. Go ahead. I am full of the burnt offerings of praise. He's full. Remember, he didn't want to know it. Remember, he said if he needed it, he got cattle on the whole 1,000 years. Go ahead. And the fat of fed beasts, that was like not in the blood of bullock, or lambs, or pico. When you come to appear before me, who have required this in your hand, you tread my court. Right. So who put you in the play? Who the big man? Who the big shot that told you to do something? Go ahead. Bring no more bane, no play. He said, bring it no more. Go ahead. Incense is an abomination. Self-explanatory. So if you see brothers out here, but they got their charts and they burning the stack of incense in one hand and screaming and cussing out white folks in the other, you know they doing wrong. Go ahead. The new moon and themselves. All of the sins I cannot away with. It is iniquity, even the solemn evil. So all the stuff that y'all institute, and you know, if you're doing wicked and you calling my name, the Lord don't want nothing to do with it. So yeah, it applies to Israel. And Israel supposed to be teaching the world. So if we doing wrong, and we burning incense, and we sacrificing, and
It's a weird experience to watch people not go, oh my God, thank you, God, thank God you're real, and oh my God, these horrible things that we've done to these poor fucking people overseas. Right, it's just weird to watch people just come out in a wrath.
Next question. Ezekiel 20:35 could explain how wild this.
No, it's not quote unquote just black people. It's just you got like a different side from a certain group of people. No.
Okay. How wildness will it be the desert, or will it be in the linden among the beast people in the plain sight? So you will have to rephrase that question better. We have a lesson called "The Wilderness, the Place of Safety" on our channel, so you might want to check out that lesson. And you know, I know for sure that will help. But as far as the way you worded it, can you word it a little bit better? We'll come back to it next week. Isaiah 58:13-14. When reading that chapter, that verse 1 through 12 is talking about the fast, aka Day of Atonement, not the weekly Sabbath. Can you give a second witness that says no pleasures weekly Sabbath? Okay.
Yeah, the guy at CVS probably can't be in the U.S. military. That's how you would talk to your quote unquote. I don't like the word superior, but that's how you talk to your superior officer.
So you don't have to be circumcised twice. You can't get circumcised. So I don't believe it's well, if we're talking about, there you go. So you're supposed to be circumcised in the flesh and circumcised in the heart. So that's why Paul and Barnabas was having this big deal with the Pharisees and the Sadducees and the Israelites and the Jews in that day. It's because they were like, man, y'all should go get these Gentiles circumcised right now. He's like, wait a minute, y'all circumcised, y'all not circumcised in the heart. So he's saying that you have to have both. You have to take part of the first covenant, which is the covenant that he gave to Abraham on the 8th day that he's supposed to have his man-child circumcised, right? So from then on, that was the covenant, right? So in order to get into the new covenant, in order to take the Passover, which you have to take yearly, you cannot do it unless you are circumcised. Let's cut you off, brother. Yeah. But let's deal with Isaiah 58.
Okay, good. This sounds good. Yeah, you really want to social distance from people that are not believers because, like I said, as men, you don't want to be burying children. It's really not a pleasant thing. Or to birth a child with someone and the person's deranged. That's a living hell for a person who's sane and has a caring heart and wanted to be a father. That's a horrible thing to happen to a person.
Lift up thy voice like a trumpet and show out people their transgression and the house of Jacob their sin. So this is what Isaiah's instruction is to do, correct?
And we can we agree on that? Let's go. Yet they seek me daily and delight to know my ways, as a nation that did righteousness and forsook not the ordinance of their God. So it was like the people that walked in it and they wanted to do it. And if they really wanted
Which would make sense if we're ever going to be free here. People that don't believe in equality and freedom, there's no way they're going to survive this, the entire Sabbath. It's not possible. That doesn't make any sense. And they teach that stuff to children. And this world helps them take them away from you.
And put Carmex in our lips to get your face all day. That's just going to be seen and want to pity it. Oh, this is a holy person. Go ahead. Yes, sir. You're supposed to wash your face, and nobody is supposed to know that you fast. Right. But when we do with this scripture in particular, you'll see with the atonement lesson, we try to show you that afflicting your soul is the fasting that you're supposed to do on the Day of Atonement. But this is not talking about the Day of Atonement.
Don't tell me you're fasting, because the anorexics will try to fast for days at a time.
So like I say, this is where you get your reward at. You want everybody to see you doing it. Go ahead. Behold, you fast for strife and debate. So this is what y'all doing. Y'all fasting for attention. Go ahead. And to smite with the fist of wickedness. You shall not fast as you do this day, to make your voice to be heard on high. Yeah. Is this such a fast that I have chosen? A day for a man to afflict his soul? Is it to bow down his head as a bull run? No. And to spread sackcloth and ashes?
Thank God.
No, it's not, because he said, get up. Don't even do none of that. Just do right and walk in these stuff. He said, get up off your knees, take the ashes. You ain't got to do that. Just do right. Go ahead. Wilt thou call this a fast and an acceptable day to the Lord? Is not this the fast that I have chosen? To loose the bands of wickedness, to undo the heavy burdens, and to let the oppressed go free, and that ye break every yoke? All questions. Go ahead. Is it not to deal thy bread to the hungry, and that thou bring the poor that are cast out to thy house? So this is what you're supposed to be doing. You ain't just trying to be seen. Do righteousness, do charity, do love, do all this stuff. Go ahead. When thou seest the naked,
Make sure you're not on an ACE inhibitor. Or at least you're talking to your doctor about it. I shouldn't say stop taking your medication, but they're still saying face masks.
So that's your glory, your feeding the people, taking care of people, giving them this law, statutes, and commandments. That's gonna be your reward. Not trying to be seen to men with your fast. Go ahead. Then shalt thou call, and the Lord shall answer. Thou shalt cry, and he shall say, here I am. If thou take away from the midst of thee the yoke, the putting forth of the finger, and speaking none. And if thou draw out thy soul to the hungry, and satisfy the afflicted soul, then shall thou likewise in obscurity, and our darkness be as the noon. So if you come out and you get somebody that's out here bad, and you give them that word, you give them the light, you feed them, you like the Lord took Israel and cleaned them up, gave them the laws, gave them substance. That's when you're gonna get your award. That's when you're gonna shine like a bright bulb in darkness. Go ahead. And the Lord shall guide thee continually. And he gonna guide you continually. What else? And satisfy thy soul in trial. So when everybody else hurting, you gonna shine. Go ahead. And make thy fat.
I got news for you. Both Friday and whatever day you're talking about are both the Sabbath. Arthur Keaton. It's 1,000 years. So.
The restorer of past to dwell. Let's talk about what this talking about as far as your pleasures versus the Lord. If you put yourself on hold, if you put
you don't have to fast to pray.
Your basketball game on hold, or if you put your
I don't think so. Not from my experience in terms of if you're trying to put yourself into like a receiving vessel. Right. A lot of that stuff is not true. It's made up, like sweat boxes and stuff. I think I was drinking some herbal tea, but
thou delight thyself in the Lord, right, and I will cause thee to ride upon the high places of the earth, and feed thee with the heritage of Jacob thy father. Yeah.
The fasting becomes a horrible thing for people with dementia. Right? Just was something I've noticed. So really try to get old people away from all the stuff about fasting. Yeah, it's 4 o'clock. I'm gonna lay down because of my feet. I'm still listening. I'm just gonna start a new stream.